My name's Ethan Walsh, I'm 28, and I'm stuck back at my folks' place in a small Ohio town because rent's a nightmare. 2 months ago, I got canned from my warehouse job, nothing glamorous, just steady enough to pay my share. My parents, Frank and Diane, have always been the type to judge you by your paycheck. If you're not flashing success, you're barely there. My younger brother, Caleb, just landed a volunteer gig at a local animal shelter, and suddenly he's their pride and joy. Me? I'm the guy they sigh about. When I got fired, they didn't even blink. Dad just said, "All you ever do is make excuses, Ethan. No wonder you're nowhere." Mom chimed in, "You've always been big dreams, no follow-through." I just nodded, too tired to fight. A week later, they decided to throw a big barbecue to celebrate Caleb's unpaid gig. I asked if I could pitch in, maybe set up tables. Dad smirked. "What? So you can mope around and drag everyone down?" Mom added, "Caleb's earned this. You've only earned a mess." I forced a grin, said, "You'll see me shine one day," and walked off. That stung, but I wasn't shocked. They've always favored Caleb, he's the quiet one. Does what they want, never rocks the boat. I'm the opposite, always pushing back. So, I'm in the kitchen a few days later, heating up some pizza, and Mom walks in, stares right at me, and says, "Losers eat scraps." No joke, she just turns and leaves. I laugh it off because what else can I do? But it's like I'm invisible unless they're tearing me down. Dad comes home, sees me grabbing a soda, and goes, "Job center call yet?" I don't bite, just take my food upstairs. The next day, I notice they're setting up for the barbecue coolers, streamers, the works. I ask, "Need help?" Mom barely glances up. "It's for Caleb. Stay out of it." I try again. "When's it happening?" Dad leans in, "Saturday." "Don't embarrass us." I'm thinking he's kidding, but his face is stone cold. I say, "I didn't ask to lose my job." He shrugs, "You never take anything seriously." Mom piles on, "If you'd stop wasting time on your phone, maybe you'd have something to show for yourself." I snap, "You think I'm not trying?" She waves me off, back to her party plans. Caleb walks in, sees the tension, but says nothing. He's never got my back, not really. I head to my room, scroll through job listings, and try to block out their voices downstairs, all excited about Caleb's big moment. It's not even about him. It's about them looking good to the neighbors. I'm not mad at Caleb, but this whole thing's a gut punch. I'm not a screw-up, but they're acting like I'm the family shame. Saturday rolls around, and I wake up to Mom banging on my door. "If you're not helping, stay upstairs." I try to grab coffee, but she's blocking the pot, gabbing on the phone about Caleb's bright future. I reach for some chips, and Dad slaps my hand away. "Those are for guests, not you." I'm pissed, but say, "Fine. I'll grab food elsewhere." He sneers, "With what money?" "Maybe start paying rent." I shoot back, "I don't have a job." He says, "Then get one." I grab my keys, head out, and wander to a diner, scrolling job boards on my phone. Nothing's biting. I feel numb, like they've already written me off. I slip back home as the party's kicking off, music, laughter, Caleb soaking up the praise. I try to sneak upstairs, but Dad catches me. "You're not joining, are you?" I say, "Wasn't planning to." He nods, "Good. Don't ruin it." I hear them later, toasting Caleb like he's won a Nobel Prize. Mom's snapping photos, everyone's calling them the perfect family. I'm in my room, headphones on, wondering how it got this bad. I start thinking, they want me gone? Fine. I'll make my own way. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but I'm done being their punching bag. I'm ready to fight back, and they're gonna see what I'm made of. The morning after Caleb's big barbecue, I wake up to Mom on the phone in the hallway, loud enough for me to hear through my door. She's telling Aunt Linda how Caleb's going places, how he's got ambition, unlike some people. That's me, obviously. I'm Ethan Walsh, 28, still stuck at my parents' house in Ohio, and it's starting to feel like a prison. I roll out of bed, grab my phone, and head downstairs for water. Dad's at the kitchen table, scrolling through his tablet. He doesn't look up, just mutters, "If you're not working, don't eat all our food." I pause, thinking he's joking, but his face is dead serious. I grab a glass, fill it, and head back upstairs. Mom comes down, starts cleaning up party leftovers, humming like everything's perfect. Caleb shuffles in from the garage, sporting a new backpack, probably a gift from Mom. He glances at me, gives a half smile, but doesn't say a word. He's always been their golden boy, and I'm just the shadow. The rest of the day is weirdly quiet. Mom makes pancakes for everyone but me, saying, "If you want breakfast, the cereal's in the pantry." I pour some Frosted Flakes, sit at the table, and try to join the conversation. I mention a job interview I've got lined up next week at a hardware store. Dad snorts, "Yeah, we'll believe it when we see it." Mom adds, "Don't get your hopes up, Ethan." I laugh it off, say, "Just trying to keep moving." Dad shakes his head. "You act like life owes you a favor." I don't respond, just scroll through my phone. Later, I try to log into the Wi-Fi, but it's down. I check the router in the living room, and there's a note taped to it, "Family only. Get your own." I'm stunned. I ask Mom, "What's with the Wi-Fi?" She's folding laundry, doesn't even look up. "We changed the password. If you want internet, pay for it." I ask, "Why the lockout?" She says, "You're not a kid anymore. Act like it." Her voice is ice. I hotspot my phone, but it's a slap in the face. My buddy Jake texts me, says my parents are acting wild. Just move out, man, he says. I wish it were that easy. Jake's got his own place. No worries. I check my bank account. Barely enough for a month's rent if I bolt. I start browsing rental listings, but everything's way out of my price range. That week, things get pettier. Mom starts locking the fridge with a bike chain when she's not home. I catch her looping it through the handle one morning. What's this? I ask. She shrugs. Food's not free, Ethan. I say, I'm not stealing. She replies, then buy your own groceries. I'm fuming but keep it together. You're treating me like a stranger, I say. She doesn't flinch. We're not your safety net. I storm upstairs, slam my door. That night, Dad knocks, which is rare. He steps inside, sits on my desk chair, and says, look, I know you're struggling, but you've got to step up. I tell him, I'm trying. I've got that interview. He sighs, we can't keep supporting you forever. I say, I just need a little time. He shakes his head. You've had years, Ethan. I correct him. It's been weeks. He stands, says, don't make me the villain here. I snap, maybe stop acting like one. He glares, watch it. I stand my ground. Or what? He walks out, shuts the door hard. The next day, I get a text from Mom with a PayPal request for rent contribution. No explanation, just a number. I text back, what's this about? She replies, if you're living here, you pay your way. I say, you didn't even warn me. She responds, figure it out or find somewhere else. I laugh bitterly. Text, guess I'm not part of the family plan. She doesn't reply. Caleb tries to talk to me later, says, they're just stressed, Ethan. It's not personal. I shoot back. They humiliated me in front of everyone. You didn't say a word. He mumbles, I didn't want to escalate it. I say, must be nice being their favorite. He sighs, walks away. I start picking up small online gigs, surveys, freelance data entry, anything to keep my phone bill paid. Mom sees me with a burger one night, says, money for fast food, but not rent? I say, I'm working, just not your way. She scoffs. That's not real work. I'm done arguing. I lock my door, eat alone, and start planning. They want me out? I'll show them I don't need them. I'm Ethan Walsh, 28, still stuck in my parents' Ohio house, but I'm starting to feel like a ghost here. It's been a week since the barbecue for my brother Caleb's volunteer gig, and my folks, Frank and Diane, are doubling down on freezing me out. I wake up to Mom vacuuming the hallway, talking loudly on the phone to her friend Carol about how Caleb's making a difference, while I'm just taking up space. I pull the covers over my head, but her voice cuts through. I head downstairs for coffee, and Dad's at the counter, reading the paper. He glances up, says, don't eat all the bread. You didn't buy it. I grab a slice anyway, say, I'll replace it. He mutters, sure you will. I'm used to this now, but it still stings. Caleb comes in, avoiding my eyes, and grabs a yogurt. Mom's locked the fridge again, but she hands him a key like he's royalty. I eat my toast in silence, scrolling job listings on my phone. I mention I've got a second interview at the hardware store. Mom snorts. Don't hold your breath, Ethan. I shrug, just keeping at it. Dad says, you've got to want it more than that. I don't argue, just head upstairs. Later, I try to watch TV, but the streaming apps are locked with a new pin. I ask Dad, what's with the TV? He's tinkering with his car in the garage, doesn't turn around. Paying customers only. Get your own account. I'm floored. You're serious? He nods. You want adult privileges, act like one. I laugh, but it's hollow. My buddy Jake texts, says my parents are unhinged. Crash at my place, he offers. I'm tempted, but his couch isn't a long-term fix. I check my savings, still too low for a deposit on a place. That night, I notice they've started locking the pantry too. I catch Mom sliding a padlock on it. Really? I say. She doesn't flinch. Groceries cost money. Contribute or starve. I say, I'm trying to find work. She replies, try harder. I'm pissed, but keep it cool. This is my home too. She shakes her head, not if you're just leeching. I walk away, heart pounding. I start staying out more, grabbing cheap coffee at a diner to use their Wi-Fi, applying for jobs. I sell some old video games online for extra cash. Dad sees me boxing them up, says, finally getting rid of your junk? I nod, making room. He smirks, maybe clear yourself out while you're at it. I bite my tongue, say, maybe I will. He laughs like I'm bluffing. One evening, I overhear them in the living room, talking about bills. Mom says, we can't keep footing Ethan's mess. Caleb's the one who needs support. Dad grumbles, he'll learn when he's got nothing. I'm standing at the top of the stairs, unseen. I slip back to my room, lock the door. The next morning, my phone charger's gone. I ask Caleb if he's seen it. He mumbles, check with Mom. I find her in the laundry room. You take my charger? She folds a towel, says, maybe if you bought your own stuff, you'd keep track of it. I say, I paid for that. She shrugs, prove it. I grab a spare from my desk, let it go. Later, Mom texts me another PayPal request for rent, no message, just a dollar amount. I text back, talk to me first. She replies, pay or leave. I say, you're making this impossible. She responds, you're the one making it hard. I don't answer. Caleb tries to smooth things over, says, they're just frustrated. Ethan. I snap, they're treating me like garbage. You never stick up for me. He sighs, I don't know how. I say, figure it out or don't. He leaves. I keep hustling online gigs, data entry, selling more old stuff. Mom catches me with a pizza one night, says, money for takeout but not bills? I say, I'm working my way. She scoffs, that's not work. I lock myself in my room, eat alone. I overhear Dad on the phone with his brother, saying, Ethan's got no drive. He'll figure it out when he's homeless. I grab my jacket, head out for a walk. Nobody notices. I'm done playing their game. I start listing everything I do around here, fixing their router, setting up their phones, paying my share when I had a job. They don't see it, but they will. I'm planning my exit, and they're not gonna like what happens when I'm gone. I'm Ethan Walsh, 28, and living at my parents' place in Ohio is like walking on eggshells. My folks, Frank and Diane, have made it clear I'm not wanted unless I'm waving a paycheck. My brother Caleb's their star for his unpaid shelter gig, while I'm the disappointment who got fired. I've been dodging their jabs, but I'm done playing nice. I start keeping my distance, staying out late at the diner or crashing at my buddy Jake's place. I shower at odd hours to avoid them, grab food from gas stations so I don't touch their locked-up groceries. I overhear Mom on the phone with her sister, saying, Ethan's still here, dragging us down. It's embarrassing. I jot down everything I've done for them, fixing their Wi-Fi, syncing their smart TV, handling their online banking. It's a long list, and they never noticed. I'm ready to let them feel my absence. I've been hustling small gigs, selling old clothes, doing online surveys, enough to save for a way out. I find a cheap room for rent on Craigslist, a basement spot in a house shared with 2 college guys. It's not fancy, but it's affordable. I visit, sign a month's lease, and pay cash. I don't tell my family. Over a week, I sneak out clothes, my laptop, and chargers in a duffel bag. Nobody notices. On my last night, I wait until they're asleep, grab my final stuff, and leave my key on the counter. I text Caleb, I'm out. I'm fine. Don't tell them where I am. He replies, okay. That's it. I move into the basement, expecting some blow-up, but it's silent. No calls, no texts. I figure they're relieved I'm gone. Here's the thing. Dad runs a side gig fixing lawnmowers and selling parts online. He's always bragged about his smooth operation, but I was the one setting up his website, managing listings, and troubleshooting his email. He never learned the tech side, too busy taking credit. Now I'm gone, and I stop helping. A month in, I get a voicemail from him. Hey, Ethan, quick question. My email's locked. Can you fix it? I don't call back. A week later, another message. Website's down. Need help with orders. Call me. I ignore it. I start seeing complaints in his online seller group. Late shipments, wrong parts, customers asking if he shut down. I know why. He never saved passwords, never wrote anything down, just leaned on me. Mom texts, your father's struggling. You should help. This matters to us. I read it. Don't reply. Then I get crafty. I don't do anything shady, but I remove my access from their accounts, Wi-Fi, streaming services, Dad's seller profile. I don't touch their stuff, just cut my ties. When Dad tries to reset the router, he can't. When Mom tries to log into her book club's email list, it's gone because I deleted my admin role. They're starting to see how much I did. Meanwhile, I'm grinding. I pick up freelance data entry, help Jake's cousin move furniture for cash, and keep my expenses low. Caleb texts me, says Mom's stressed because his shelter gig's still unpaid, and he's dipping into savings. I reply, that's rough. He doesn't ask me to come back, just sends dumb memes. 2 months out, I run into Dad at a coffee shop. He looks worn out, bags under his eyes. He says, you're really ghosting us after everything we did? I say, what did you do, besides make me feel worthless? He snaps, we gave you a roof, food. I counter, and reminded me every day I was a failure. He steps closer, voice low. You're ungrateful. I stay calm, say, you made your bed. He mutters something and walks off. I feel nothing, just free. Mom's texts get pushier. We're struggling, Ethan. Help your father. I don't bite. My uncle calls, says, your dad's in a bind. Maybe lend a hand. I say, he knows my number. The guilt trips don't work. I'm building something for myself, and they're learning what happens when you push someone too far. I'm not done yet. I'm Ethan Walsh, 28, and I've been out of my parents' Ohio house for 3 months now, living in a basement rental with 2 roommates. It's not much, but it's mine. My folks, Frank and Diane, are still reeling from me cutting them off, and I'm finally breathing easy. My brother Caleb's still their golden child, but his unpaid shelter gig's wearing him thin. I'm hustling, freelance data entry, odd jobs like painting fences for Jake's uncle, and selling old gear online. It's enough to cover rent and ramen. I'm not rich, but I'm not begging either. My parents' world is cracking, though. Dad's lawnmower repair business is tanking without me handling his website and accounts. I see more complaints online, customers bailing, orders lost. He leaves voicemails, sounding desperate. Ethan, I can't access the seller dashboard. Please call. I don't. Mom texts, your father's stressed. You're breaking his heart. I leave her on read. They're starting to feel what I did. Ignored, useless. I get a job offer from the hardware store, part-time but steady. I take it, start stocking shelves, and it feels good to have a routine. Jake says I'm looking sharper, like I'm carrying less weight. I keep tweaking my parents' digital footprint, not hacking, just pulling my support. Their Wi-Fi crashes because I'm not there to reset it. Mom's book club newsletter fails when her email list vanishes. I didn't delete her stuff, just my access. They never learned how to manage without me. Caleb texts, says mom's crying at night, dad's drinking more. It's bad, Ethan, he writes. I reply, they built this mess. He doesn't argue, just sends a sad emoji. I'm not heartless, but I'm not their fix-it guy anymore. One day, I'm at the library, working on my laptop, when my cousin Sarah calls. Your dad's business is bleeding cash, she says. Can you help? I say, they know how to reach me. She sighs, they're too stubborn to apologize. I nod to myself, that's their choice. I start saving for a better place, maybe a studio apartment. I'm not rushing, but I'm planning. My parents' calls get more frequent, but I let them ring. I overhear from Jake's mom that mom's telling neighbors I abandoned them. I laugh it off, let her spin her story. I'm done with their guilt trips. I buy a cheap grill, host a small cookout with Jake and my roommates. We're laughing, eating burgers, and I realize I haven't felt this light in years. Across town, my parents are sitting in their perfect house, but it's not perfect anymore. They wanted me gone, and now they're seeing what that really means. I'm not gloating, just moving forward. I've got a job, a plan, and people who don't treat me like a failure. They can figure out their own mess for once. I'm Ethan Walsh, pushing 29, and life's finally got some rhythm. I'm working part-time at the hardware store, picking up freelance gigs, and saving for a place of my own. My Ohio basement rental's a little cramped, but it's freedom. My parents, Frank and Diane, are another story. Their world's unraveling, and I'm not lifting a finger to stop it. Dad's lawnmower business is a ghost town. His online store's a mess, customers are gone, and he's drowning in bad reviews. Mom's book club and social life are crumbling without her email lists or my tech help. They're calling me nonstop now. Dad's voicemails are rough. Ethan, I'm losing everything. Just help me fix the website. Mom's texts are softer but guilt-heavy. We're struggling, Ethan. You're our son. I don't respond. They didn't care when I was struggling, so why is it my job to save them? Caleb's still at home, and his texts paint a grim picture. His shelter gig's unpaid, his savings are shot, and he's stuck playing peacemaker. Mom's a wreck, dad's checked out, he writes. I say, they did this to themselves. He replies, I know, but it's hell here. I tell him, you can crash with me anytime. He says, maybe soon. I'm not holding my breath. I keep my life moving. The hardware store bumps me to full-time, and I'm learning to repair tools, which feels good. Jake and I hit a bar one night, and he says, you're killing it, man. They don't own you anymore. I nod, but part of me wonders how bad it's gotten at home. I get a call from my Aunt Karen, who says, your dad's behind on bills. Can you talk to him? I say, he's got my number. She pushes, family's family, Ethan. I counter, not when they treat you like dirt. She doesn't argue. I hear from Jake's mom that mom stopped hosting her book club and dad's selling his tools to cover debts. Neighbors are gossiping, saying the Walsh family's falling apart. I don't feel vindicated, just distant. One day, I'm walking past my parents' street, not planning to stop, and see them on their porch. They're sitting in lawn chairs, staring at the ground. Mom's face is puffy, dad's got a beer in hand. They don't see me. I keep walking, but it hits me, they look broken. I don't feel sorry, exactly, but it's weird seeing them like this. Back at my place, I throw another cookout, bigger this time. Jake brings his girlfriend. My roommates invite friends, and we're grilling, laughing, playing music. I glance at my phone, another missed call from mom. I mute it. Caleb texts later, heard your party was loud. Mom's jealous. I reply, she's welcome to apologize. He doesn't respond. I'm not waiting for them to fix this. I'm building my life, and they're learning what happens when you burn bridges. It's not revenge, it's just reality. I'm Ethan Walsh, 29 now, and I've got my own life in Ohio. I moved out of the basement into a small studio apartment, nothing fancy but all mine. I'm full-time at the hardware store, fixing tools and even training new hires. I've got freelance gigs on the side, and I'm saving for a truck. My parents, Frank and Diane, are shadows of who they were. Dad's lawnmower business collapsed, sold off what was left to pay bills. Mom's social circle's gone quiet. She doesn't host anything anymore. They call me every week, sometimes daily. Dad's voicemails are raw. Ethan, we're drowning. Please help. Moms are pleading. We're sorry, Ethan. Come home. I don't answer. They made me feel like nothing, and I'm not their lifeline. Caleb finally moved out, crashing with a friend. His shelter gig ended, and he's working retail now. He visits me sometimes, and we're slowly rebuilding. He apologized for not standing up for me. I was scared, he said. I nodded. I get it. We're not tight like before, but it's a start. One evening, I'm grabbing groceries and run into mom at the store. She looks tired, hair messy, no makeup. She sees me, freezes, then says, Ethan, can we talk? I keep it short. What's there to say? She tears up. We were wrong. We didn't mean to hurt you. I say, but you did. Every day. She nods. I know. We're paying for it. I don't soften. You chose that. She asks, "Can you help Dad?" "Just a little." I shake my head. I've got my own life now. She cries, but I walk away. It's not easy, but it's right. A week later, I hear from my Uncle Mike that Dad's working a factory job and Mom's selling crafts online, barely scraping by. Neighbors don't talk about the Walsh family anymore. I throw a housewarming party at my studio, Jake, Caleb, my work crew, even a cute coworker who's been flirting with me. We're eating pizza, playing cards, and I feel at home. My phone buzzes, Dad again. I block his number, then Mom's. I'm done with their apologies. Caleb says, "You sure about this?" I nod. They had their chance. He doesn't push. I don't hate them, but I don't need them either. I've got a job, friends, a place to call mine. They wanted me to fail, but I'm standing tall. They're sitting in their empty house, regretting every word they threw at me. I sleep easy, knowing I made it without them. That's my win, and I'm not looking back. I'm Ethan Walsh, 29, and life's steady now in my Ohio studio apartment. It's been 6 months since I last saw Mom at the store, a year since I walked out of my parents' house. I'm still at the hardware store, got a raise, and I'm fixing tools like a pro. I bought that truck I was eyeing, used but solid, and I'm saving for a house one day. My parents, Frank and Diane, are barely in my world anymore. I heard from my cousin Sarah that Dad's still at the factory, working long shifts, and Mom's crafts aren't selling much. Their house is quiet now. No more parties or book clubs. Caleb says they don't talk about me, but Mom keeps my old room untouched, like I might come back. I won't. I block their numbers, and the silence feels right. Caleb and I are tighter now. He's got a new job at a pet store and his own place. We grab beers sometimes, laugh about old times, but we don't dwell on the bad stuff. He's sorry for not having my back, and I've let it go. Jake's still my rock, and that coworker, Lisa, is my girlfriend now. She's got a laugh that makes everything lighter. I threw a barbecue last weekend. Lisa, Caleb, Jake, and a few work buddies. We grilled steaks, played music, and I looked around, thinking, this is my family now. I don't check Dad's old seller groups anymore, but Sarah says his business never recovered. Mom tried calling once from a new number, left a voicemail. "Ethan, we miss you. We're sorry." I deleted it. I don't hate them, but I don't know them either. They made me feel like a failure, locked me out of their lives, and now they're living with the fallout. I walk past their street sometimes, see their porch empty, and feel a pang, but it passes. I'm not the kid they kicked around anymore. I've got a life I built, piece by piece, and it's mine. Lisa says I'm too hard on myself, but I'm just proud I didn't break. I'm planning a road trip with her next summer, maybe hit the Smoky Mountains. Caleb might tag along. The future's open, and I'm not looking over my shoulder. My parents wanted me to crash, but I'm flying. That's enough for me.